Hi everyone, welcome to another Liam Yap session on the channel, and in today's video I have a video talking about the identity of Storm in 2024. Now, I'm not going to be saying buff Storm in this video. Honestly, the whole video is not about nerfing Storm. Is it good? Is it bad? It's not about that. It's just about the identity of the school and some things in the library, inconsistencies, stuff like that, that really just doesn't blend well or sit well with the identity of Storm. So what is Storm's school identity? Well, let's get into that right away. Ever since 2008 and the game came out, Storm has been the most powerful school, glass cannon if you will, and has obviously RNG to it. We're going to simply put the RNG off the board here because in PvP, obviously players don't really like that and all in a competitive system, so let's just chalk that off momentarily. But essentially, there is a big accuracy burden on the school because of the fact you'll be out trading and hitting so powerful on the school. Now, immediately, what I'm going to talk about is going to be Ninja Pigs and Triton because a lot of players get confused right here. And I think this is a very good highlight, a very good example of a problem in the game. So a Ninja Pigs and a Triton trade evenly. Now you're probably like, okay, Liam, well, that's a balanced game, right? But the issue with that is the fact of the matter, like I said, the identity of Storm is for you to be out trading and hitting harder, and the accuracy burden is what, makes up for that or balances that out. Now, numerically, Pigs is better than Triton. I know there's some doofuses out there who just look at the card like, oh, Triton does more damage than Ninja Pigs. No. A school pip on the, raw damage hit, like the Ninja Pigs, is insane value, guys. A normal 6 pip, tier 5, like Triton equivalent for a myth, looks like this. Now that's a big damage difference, right? And if we just simply live in a world where Ninja Pigs isn't in the game, and it's just, Stone Colossus top path versus Triton top path, then Storm would have that identity of actually hitting harder, actually out trading, and the accuracy burden having its spot in the game essentially. So I want to talk about some positives because I want to sit here and rant the whole video. Storm Owl is probably the best thing Storm has gotten, over the past couple of years. Top path Storm Owl, just uncontested, the best, 10 pip raw damage hit in the game. That's really good. That's what it should be, right? You are a Storm after all. Also, catch of the day, really good. Just a very, offensive, tempo gain, like, end the match kind of card, which is really good. Storms like that. You have a lot of other great spells like Catalan and Berry, but those don't really, fit into the Storm identity of just nuking your opponent and being a glass cannon, so we're just gonna kind of put that aside for now. We could briefly talk about RNG because I see this being talked about in the community quite a bit, and that's gonna be stuff like Wild Bolt and Insane Bolt. A lot of players actually don't like Wild Bolt being in the game, even though it's not really packed at the top levels of play because, well, obviously it's just not good and all. But a lot of players just want Wild Bolt to be gone entirely, and I honestly agree with that. If Insane Bolt is gone, Wild Bolt should be gone as well. I would honestly prefer just having old Insane Bolt back where it either kills you or the opponent. Like, I really liked that kind of card. But old Insane Bolt simply just added to that glass cannon identity of Storm. It's like, okay, well, I'm either dying or I'm bringing you down with me, So that was really cool and all, but we got that taken away, and we got one of the worst cards in the game, which is the new Insane Bolt, which is really sad. Just kind of disrespects the old Insane Bolt's name. Okay, so there's a couple other things to dissect on Storm in terms of identity and all. A lot of players were thinking, okay, well, Storm should basically be myth, right? That's a very common thing you hear is, well, Storm's identity kind of got robbed by myth because myth can hit around shields and weaknesses and just nuke your opponent and just buff up a crap ton and just nuke anybody and win, right? On a Storm, you can't do what a myth does because you don't have the Rochambeau library like Stone Colossus drop there, Ninja Pigs, stuff like that, that enables it. So essentially when Rochambeau came out, myth just kind of, yeeted Storm's identity for a lack of a better term. So I guess the only TLDR or takeaway from this point really is King Sal just really fucked up on the Rochambeau and where they put, stuff on Storm. Next up, I want to talk about Critical because critical, you know, Storm has been the critical school as well. I think that was when I started playing the game, I heard that being floated around the community. Storm was like the crit school, you know, and nowadays everybody just has stats, you know, everyone has like 50 pierce, 60 pierce, 70 pierce if you're fire practically. Everyone has like 200 damage, right? And everybody has, you know, insane crit. So basically, there's nothing special about crit or block anymore. So I honestly wouldn't mind seeing like some of those systems be completely reevaluated. And another thing I want to talk about on Storm is actually going to be Immolate. So Clanker got banned, and honestly, I could care less because even with Clanker in the game, Immolate still did more damage than Clanker. And I know some people want to be like, oh, well, Immolate does self-damage. Okay, cool. I don't care. I still want that on a Storm. I would love to do self-damage to myself. Just nuke my opponent on a Storm. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? So why can't Storm get something like that? You know? And I'm aware a lot of this is just, you know, looking at other schools and being like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, right? But at the end of the day, there should be more things in the game like Storm Owl, right? Where Storm is just, you know, unquestionably the best hitter at every pip and stuff like that, right? But Fire has Immolate. You know, I'm not saying that they're Fire here, I'm just stating facts. Fire has Immolate, Storm doesn't have that, right? Myth has, you know, Ninja Pigs, Storm doesn't have that. And some of these problems, like I said, King's Isle kind of like dug their own grave within like Rochambeau and stuff like that and all, but there are some things that can generally be fixed about this, like, you know, the 4 pip, the 6 pip and all, and, you know, talking about the identity of Storm and like the accuracy burden, right? Because like I said, that's the whole point of it, is you're supposed to hit way harder, your stats are supposed to be bad, and the trade-off is the accuracy. But essentially with 5th Age and, you know, the gear audit and all that stuff, essentially every school practically can hit like a Storm in terms of the combat model, and Storm just kept the accuracy burden but doesn't really, you know, see or have anything to show for it, unfortunately. The best thing you have on a Storm right now is literally Storm Owl, right? I'm aware Catch, Bury, and Catalan are all great cards, but in terms of like just, you know, hitting and nuking the opponent, the best card you have is Storm Owl. And don't even get me started on Rusalka, man. Like, oh my, just like Insane Bolt, they just completely disrespect these cards. They audit these cards and they disrespect them. It's so sad. I don't even know. Which one are you guys more upset about? Rusalka being a heal blade? Or freaking Insane Bolt being like one of the coolest, most badass clutch cards in the game? And now being like the worst card in the game that nobody packs. I'm genuinely curious which one you think got done worse. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I think that's everything I got to talk about in the video today, guys. I just wanted to have a more, you know, constructive video. Not so rage heavy, you know, stuff like that. And just talk about, you know, some of the things that are problems in the game in my opinion, and some things are just obviously clearly unfair, like I said, with the 4 pip and the 6 pip. So I really hope King's Isle can sit down and talk about the identity of Storm and stuff like that, because the last couple of updates have been making Storm, you know, actually feel like it used to, you know, like a powerhouse in a way, but like it's just not quite there yet. Again, I'm not talking about the meta, I'm just talking about the identity of the school. Okay, guys, we're not talking about the meta here. Now that other schools don't have cards so busted above their damage per pip and all, Storm's actually starting to feel special again, you know? And I just really hope we can get there again someday and all. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm done yapping. This video is probably gonna be controversial, but you know, that's okay. Good discussion points and all. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching and take care.